Weekly forecast March 27th to April 2nd, 2023. Amazing predictions. Hi, I am Asiya Batool Astrologer presenting you the weekly forecast commencing on Monday, March the 27th, 2023. This is a relatively smooth week after all the huge changes that were set into motion last week, with the spring equinox and the northern latitudes, with the new moon in fiery Aries and of course the gigantic Pluto going into the new sign of Aquarius the first time in 243 years. So there is this undercurrent of massive change. Some people may not pick up on it for a long time, other people will start noticing it very quickly. Before I break down what are the key components of this week and how it might apply to you, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. Alright, let's start with Monday, March the 27th. The moon is in witty, restless, curious Gemini, talkative Gemini. The moon sets the public tone, the public reaction. That with the moon and Gemini, a lot of nervousness, restlessness, a lot of talking, thinking, brainstorming, it's very mentally stimulating. Gemini is ruled by or associated with assault, with Mercury. Mercury is the messenger god in mythology. Mercury is decision-making, planning, thinking, talking and writing. Once a year Mercury will cross over every planet because Mercury is a one-year cycle. Mercury on Monday is crossing over Jupiter. Jupiter is the higher vibration of Mercury. What I mean by that is Mercury would be writing a book, Jupiter would be publishing the book, Mercury would be attending school as a student, the Jupiter would be the teacher. Jupiter is media, marketing, publishing, getting information to the masses out to the world, but the Mercury is all that information but more analytical, detailed approach to comprising it. Anyhow, it is an excellent day for traveling, for education, for lecturing, for making long-range plans. The moon in Gemini, all that mental stimulation goes void of course. The moon is not making any other aspects to other planets until it changes signs and starts the whole 2.5-day cycle again, so it is advised not to launch, beginning important new projects because the energy, if you started during the moon void of course, there's no energy, it's flat, it's inactive. This is a time of staying the course, stick to the routine, good for resting. For most of you it'll just be late at night into the early morning, so it's just you will all, most of you all, be resting. Anyhow, on Tuesday, the moon is now in emotional Cancer. Where the moon in Gemini is all you're wanting to do is think about and talk about your feelings. When the moon goes into Cancer, Cancer is more reflective, more private, it's more inward. The moon in Cancer will be in harmony with responsible, pragmatic Saturn, so we're going to start Tuesday earlier in the day emotionally, feeling grounded. Now with the moon and Cancer you could be more motivated to accomplish domestic chores because the domestic would be the Cancer and the Saturn would be keeping it moving forward, steady and accomplishing the goals. And then just the fact, the moon's in Cancer by itself, it can be a bit emotional and moody, but when the moon in Cancer is in harmony with Saturn, we are more centered or more grounded. On Wednesday the 29th, the moon continues in Cancer, sensitive reflective Cancer, but it's going to be triggering 3 planets. The moon, emotional moon, will be in harmony with Venus. Venus is the planet of harmony, relationships, love. The moon in Cancer is a strong, emotional need for peace and harmony and connectiveness in relationships. If you need to have a heartfelt conversation with a friend or a loved one, this is very favorable energies. The moon moves another couple of degrees and it is hitting Uranus. Uranus is innovative, futuristic, progressive. Moon in Cancer by itself can help us get really too comfortable with their old habits or old routines. Having the moon being stimulated by eclectic, progressive Uranus, you could be more inclined to get out of your rut, try new things, shake things up, could even be some very pleasant surprises. Now the moon will be in tension with Jupiter. Now Jupiter in itself is the planet of luck and opportunity, optimism, but when the moon or any planet is making a hard angle of pressure to the Jupiter, the problem with Jupiter is when it's stressed out it can overdo, overinflate, overexpect. There might be an emotional need to eat too much, spend too much money, have too much, take on too many big projects and plans. If you stay grounded, you can move that needle forwards and make some progress. If you're getting swept away by all the emotions of the moon in Cancer, with Jupiter you just might be overdoing it and being disappointed with your inflated expectations. On Thursday the 30th of March, the moon continues in Cancer, but it will be void of course that flat unproductive energy. After this the moon goes into Leo, fiery Leo. When the moon's in Cancer in general, we're more inclined to want to just stay at home or be more private, keep to ourselves. When the moon goes into Leo, Leo wants a parade, Leo wants to be in the spotlight, Leo is fire and it's dynamic, romantic, creative energies. As that moon, later in the day goes into fiery Leo, Mars, fiery Mars, the natural ruler of Aries, a fire sign, Mars aggressive, initiative Mars will be in harmony with responsible structured pragmatic Saturn. This is a day that a lot of hard work can be accomplished, the Mars is really pushing and the Saturn gets the discipline and the perseverance. You might be exhausted but you're going to accomplish a great deal, and not only is the Mars excellent with Saturn, good for business, good for building and structures. Venus, pleasure-seeking, social Venus will be crossing Uranus as it does once a year. Uranus is the sudden, unexpected surprise. Venus over Uranus, there might be a sudden infatuation, you may also be thinking out of the box creatively. Venus, social, pleasurable Venus with Uranus is also very favorable for hanging out and networking with friends, having a party, expanding your social circle. On Friday, the moon in extroverted Leo will be in harmony with the sun in extroverted Aries. They're both fire signs, and so there's a lot of inspiration, a lot of passion, a lot of energy, but when the moon once a month is in harmony with the sun, it's a relatively easy day. Now there could be other mitigating factors of transiting planets making challenging aspects in your individual chart, but for the world, the moon in harmony with the sun, and it's a Friday, so it's a relaxing day, it's an easy day, it's winding up the work week, getting ready for the weekend. On Saturday, April 1st, remember April Fool's Day, the moon will be in harmony with expansive, optimistic Jupiter. It starts the day with emotional moon in fiery area, a Leo being expanded by optimistic, generous Jupiter. You could be making all you could be excited about, making all kinds of weekend plans, good for going away for the weekend or maybe attending a Saturday afternoon workshop. Sunday, April the 2nd, the moon is now in Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign, Leo was a fire side, so with the moon and Virgo, we're more grounded, more sensible, more practical. It's sort of like, alright, we got to get organized for the next work week on Monday, but the moon and Virgo will be in odds in confrontation to restricted limiting Saturn. You might be feeling emotionally restricted, worried, isolated. Can be a bit of a heavy time, or it could be that you had such a great time Saturday with eating and drinking that you wake up on Sunday and you're just tired and sluggish, and maybe some of you have a hangover. That could be the moon's Saturn, but early in the afternoon as the moon is waking up and getting away from that heavy limiting Saturn. Now the moon will be in harmony with Mars, the natural ruler of Aries. Mars is the warrior, motivational, physical, energetic, athletic energies, so that emotional moon in harmony with Mars. You might have been tired and stuck and worried earlier. Well, you're up and running and exuberant, and let's go for it with lots of activity. Great for a lot of playing sports, just being very physically active. So I want to thank you for watching. Until next week, be safe and well. If you found anything beneficial in this video, then do like and subscribe, as it helps me to grow my channel.